out there at YouTube land, YouTubeland.usa, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, guys? It's Thrifty. This is the continuation of uh, my reaction and kind of breaking down the transcript from the meeting that happened this last week. And so just wanted to uh, go ahead and get on and do that. Give me just a few minutes. Go ahead and share this out. I am kind of starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to see how long I can do this for tonight before I just get tired of trying to clear my throat and tired of trying to mute myself every time I clear my throat. So, yeah, let me go ahead and get this shared out. Let me get it sent to the proper people at the proper channels and have my people call their people, and then we will dive in. What's up, RPG? How are y'all? What's up, Twisted? Oh yeah, Thrifty? Yeah, whoa. Whoops. That's what happens when you have the sound on. Hey, so yeah, for those who are asking what this is, on Thursday, I got on, I broke down some of the meeting that happened, and I only made it about halfway through the transcript, and so I wanted to come back, and I said on there I'd come back Saturday night and do the other half. And so that's really what I'm here for. I want to be able to break this down. The way I like doing this is not very conducive to a short, tiny video because then I just sound like I'm saying the same thing everybody else is saying and speaking in generalizations and not giving a lot of the context behind them. And the context in this is important because, as I said last week, there's kind of just a few themes that run throughout this. One of the major ones being that they want to use the other platforms as a to give them something they don't have. Obviously, we know that's players, and more than that, that's players who actually spend money to buy games. They are convincing themselves that their numbers are great, at the same time telling us the numbers are bad. Phil Spencer is still learning, doesn't know how to do his job yet, still trying to figure that one out. And there's one more, but I can't remember exactly what it was, and so I don't want to sit and say something and then be called a liar or what have you. Share this out, guys. If you're on X, if you're on heck, I'll even take people from Facebook at this point. If you're on X, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, if you can even share this stuff to Instagram, I don't really know. Please do so. I am about to get this sent over to the proper Discord channels and get this set up. Man, it's been a good day today. It's been a long day, but it's been a good day. Uh, don't know anything really about what's happening in the world of gaming today uh, because I've been sitting down watching Dragon Ball Z with my boys. We played on the trampoline today. That's why my voice might end up leaving. What's up, Toolman? Uh, because I screamed a lot. And so it's hard when you're playing the villain and you have to like do all the power-ups and the screamings and all that. So my voice might end up just leaving. Give me just a sec. I'm sending it out to one more place. One more place, as it were. I'm sorry, I won't do that again. All right. Whew. Okay. So where we ended last time was in the middle of Matt Booty talking. He said that their point of all of this was growing for our players, growing for our creators, so those people are finding success on the platform, uh, which will grow the Xbox business and put Xbox in a position to be very strong for years and decades to come. Okay, so one of the things I talked about quite a bit last week was that uh, there's this kind of thing that they've been doing during this meeting where uh, they have like the raw moments, and that was what I had mentioned about that was that this is kind of one of those things that doesn't really matter. It's really a raw moment, uh, and so I don't really put a lot of effort into explaining that because it's pointless to the rest of the arguments. And then Tina goes in, and this is where we left off. Matt, earlier you were talking about these growing gaming communities, how they're incredibly large and comparable on such a different level when we think about console audiences. Like you mentioned, Roblox, you mentioned Fortnite. So we're obviously thinking about our responsibility, our hardware responsibility in supporting the growth of gaming communities. How has that actually shown up for the players? Are there other games we can speak to from our portfolio? Well, this is Booty again. Well, as Phil mentioned, two of the biggest ones for us, Call of Duty and Minecraft. They are driven just from the bottom up by the communities of people that play those games, which is so great. Think about it. For the player community, it comes down to where are the friends? Where are the people you play with? Now, this is one of the things that I will agree with him on. Like, it does matter where your friends play, right? And but but what's funny is he's talking about their goal making that not matter, right? Like he earlier he had said he wants games everywhere. What's up, Michael? He wants games everywhere. He wants gaming cross-platform saves, cross this, cross progression, all of that. So it doesn't matter. He wants them everywhere. So why is it important where your friends play? Well, it's not. But if you're trying to build up a reason why Xbox should still be around, then well, it's because people have all their friends here. It's one of those invalid points because he's already said something contradictory to that. Uh, I will say this though, he is absolutely correct. It just doesn't make sense why he says it after he also said that they want to do the exact opposite of making it matter where your friends play. The reality is that right now it does matter where your friends play. It absolutely does. Now, if I had a ton of friends who were like all of a sudden went out and sold their PlayStations and got Xboxes, I'm not leaving. I'm staying right where I'm at. But that's because I don't play a lot of multiplayer. And from what I have found is that if you're involved in a gaming community at all, there's always people to play with. And so, anyways, he continues. And then, equally important is we have built up your library of games, right? Where have you invested? Where is that library? I think those two things probably are some of the biggest influences on where people choose to play and what devices they choose to play. Now, that I'll give you. Excuse me. That I'll give you. That is definitely important. But your boss last year just said y'all lost the worst generation to ever lose in gaming if that's one of your standards, which was the Xbox One generation, because more people built their digital libraries. And so, if that's the case, I am so confused when I read this. I don't know if Xbox is doing amazing. I don't know if they're doing really bad. I don't know if they're doing things that are going to help the business. I don't know if they're doing things that are going to grow the business. And the problem is, they don't know either. Like, it's crazy. Think about those console audiences. Like you mentioned, Roblox, Fortnite. You're obviously thinking about our responsibility, our hardware responsibility in supporting the growth of gaming communities. How has that actually shown up for the players? Okay, so it's shown up, or what's important about how it showed up for the players, I guess, is in Call of Duty and Minecraft. But what's equally important as where that has shown up is where your library of games have been built. And so I'm sitting here like, come on. So you're saying that these communities are important, but you're saying that the fact that they've built their communities on PlayStation, you can't yank the game off? Or does that mean you want to put more games on it? Like, does anybody else see my confusion, or am I just dumb as a box of rocks in this and these guys are rocket scientists? I mean what I say. That's from the movie Holes. You'll do as I say. What do you want me to do? Uh, uh, you'll do as I tell you. But you didn't say anything. This whole meeting was just a ton of you didn't say anything at everyone. One of the guys in my Discord, Nelson, just said, Thrifty, I'll be on in a minute. Everyone is playing right now. That's so funny. Yeah, I figured this stream wouldn't get just a millions of people here. Speaking of that, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I've picked up, well, for my channel, I've picked up quite a few subscribers over the past few days, so I appreciate that. He missed the pretext. Yeah, dude, he missed the pretext. He missed the context. He missed the yeah, I ain't got nothing else that comes with text, but he missed the context for sure. It's that Sailor Moon. Yes. They're all pivoting at the same time. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Sorry. Rest in peace, Chin Andler Bong. Um, okay. It's decided where they choose to play. Absolutely. We think, we think about on the other side, the developer side. Just any game developer wants their game to find the biggest audience possible. That's just the nature of building a game. You want people to enjoy and participate in what you've made. And here, I'll add the parentheses. And we don't have people on the Xbox. So we got to send games elsewhere. And I think we're in a unique position to deliver on just that because we are the platform. We build hardware. We've got a first party uh, we have a first party games group. And then we've got a system that ties that together, that brings together your friends, your progressions, your achievements, all of that. And I think that's really what has contributed to the momentum behind some of these communities. My guy, my guy, you can't. Okay, Minecraft I might give you, but you can't claim that y'all's platform is the reason for the success of Call of Duty, dude. Because remember, in the English language, they haven't introduced a new subject yet. So all of this is still referring back to the question that she had about Call of Duty, or where he responded with Call of Duty and Minecraft. He's still answering that line of thought. And so we're in an EQ to deliver, blah, blah, blah. We've got first party games group, and then we've got a system that ties together all that, that brings together your friends, your progression, and your achievements. All of it. And I think that's really what has contributed to the momentum behind some of these communities. The only two communities that she asked about, or that he had referenced earlier, was Roblox and, or sorry, Minecraft and Call of Duty. They didn't have crap to do with the first one and have had very minimal effect on the second one. So I find it funny that they are very like head over heels psychotic about the Xbox brand and what they try to tell the Xbox community and the rest of the gaming community. This makes no sense to me. Sarah Bond says this. Yeah, absolutely. When you just step back and you look at the history of the industry, we've moved from a place where it used to be that someone built and launched a game to accelerate hardware to actually the things we do with our hardware and with our platform are all in service of making those games bigger. And we think about that across all the investments we make. How they can make their platform bigger, how they can make games in service of their yeah, okay. Every company should do that. That's the bare minimum that you're supposed to do as heads of the company. Got it. The consoles we build, the investments we do with the things like crossplay, cross progression, the things that we're doing with cloud. Okay, so I'm really getting tired of them kind of mentioning crossplay and cross progression. That's not a talking beat. That's not a reason or not a reason to bring games to other platforms. I just that bothers me. Like I know that somebody could say, well, it's because you're on PlayStation and y'all just got cross progression the other year or whatever. Like, it doesn't seem, it seems like they're hitting on that as a way to say, like, hey guys, we want to do this, but not really. So we're going to put up a roadblock of making cross play and cross progression work. Okay, cool. How do we actually give more options to game creators so they can have the greatest success? I think one of the fun recent examples about this is actually Palworld. Palworld was able to launch. They were a game preview. They launched in Game Pass. So they also simultaneously launched in Steam. So the combination of those things, Pocket Pair was able to have this outsized success, and it was the largest third-party Game Pass launch ever. And that's all because we give creators options on how they launch their games. Okay. Let me read this next thing. We've got subscription, we've got retail, we've got free to play, we've got game preview, we have the consoles, we have our experience on PC, and they have access to all of those things. All right, so I'm going to say this: PlayStation does not allow previews or um, beta titles like this because they have a standard for quality that's absolutely insane. Like, they removed Cyberpunk because the game was garbage. Garbage, as they would say in France. I don't know if they say that in France. Uh, but, like, it's this. Right. Thank you, Twisted. We want our games complete. Also, if if you think that if you think that most of the people who made Power World a success came from Game Pass, I would be hard pressed to call you a liar straight to your face. Because Game Pass doesn't run through Steam, and the Steam numbers and the Steam sales are what carried that game. I have a hard time believing that 25 million subscribers were able to the level it was. So that's a wonderful line. I need that clipped. Microsoft holds the line. Sony raises the bar. That's RPG. That's going on a poster. That might end up being some sort of like merch line here. I don't know. I may give you like 3 cents per coffee cup I sell. By the way, guys, we have our own coffee cup. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Um, and then she goes on to list all the places that they have this stuff. And what's funny is Satya was do more with less, and now she's talking about giving them more options to work with. Like, do, do you see what I mean? Where each side says a little different. We want our studios to do more with less. Well, now we want our studios to have all these options. Like, and having all these options is not always great because now you have to get your game to work on PC. You got to get it to work on cloud. You got to get it to work. You got to be able to have a physical release of it, which they don't really do that anymore. And you have to be able to put it on Game Pass, which means you have to keep your cost low enough to where you're not wanting to recoup all the money back on the initial release of the game. You want to slow trickle feed the reimbursement of that through the monthly subscribers on Game Pass, right? That's how this works, right? A company might spend $250 million making a movie to put it on Netflix. That company gets paid $250 million by Netflix to make that movie. Then, generally, the way this works is they have view counts that they hit. If they hit those view counts, Netflix considers it a success, and then they pay the studio and probably greenlight a sequel. If it doesn't hit those numbers, then the studio doesn't make any more money because they've already paid the money. So any additional money you're going to get from it has to be slow fed in because they're a monthly subservice and they're paying for tons of projects all at once. So let's keep going. And when we step back and we just look at the performance of our platform all up, we know it's working. We are the highest. We're at the highest level of users on console, the highest level of users on PC, the highest level of users on cloud ever. We have double-digit growth rate on PC and cloud, places where we've been enabling creators to actually reach new players beyond the console ecosystem. And that's why we're leaning into and doing more, because we see all of those signals. So we're talking about the role that hardware plays for creators, for the games, and those communities. What about the role that hardware plays for us as a business, for Xbox? Okay, pause. Talking about more of that double speak, we have been told by Phil Spencer, by Tim Stewart, by Satya Nadella. Oh, that was the other theme, is that they need money. That was the fourth thing that I was missing earlier. That they need money. They need more money. Satya has been talking about money. Tim Stewart talked about exploring other opportunities uh, that we don't have uh, right here. So we want to look at Nintendo and so we want to look at Nintendo and PlayStation. We don't even see them as competitors anymore. We don't. Is everybody all right? What's going on? Okay, I see chat now. That's funny. But now you have Sarah Bond going, hey, we have a level of growth. We're doing great. This is awesome. But listen to her reason. So if you want to take this just as straight up double speak, that's fine. But what I want to do real quick is kind of let you in on what I see here. Because there's something very interesting if you actually read this. She said, we've experienced the highest level of growth on PC, the highest level of growth on cloud, double digit growth on both PC and cloud, places where we're enabling creators to finally reach new players beyond the console ecosystem. So, have I played Helldivers? No, I have not. Hopefully next week. I hope. I really do. Uh, but anyways, so she mentions PC and cloud. Okay? She mentions PC and cloud. So, okay, those two have grown. Phil Spencer says they need more money. Satya says they need more money, and Tim Stewart says they need more money from Xbox. Huh. So if those two have grown, but they're still needing more money, and there's a third player in the mix that we've already heard from Matt Booty and Phil, being Xbox, PC, mobile, cloud, does that mean that they've lost their rear ends on Xbox? Like, take the two facts that we know. All three of the executives have all been talking about how they need more money and not making enough, and they need to find a way to increase profit and increase revenue. And then here, oh, and then Matt Booty comes out and says, "Hey, we are prevalent across Xbox, PC, mobile, cloud." Okay, well then she's coming out and saying, "Hey, we've experienced amazing growth on PC. It's been so good for them or good for us on PC and on cloud." So if it's been great on those two and you're still losing money, then you have to look at the other two. And we know they're not doing much with mobile right now, which means they're kind of losing their backside on Xbox. This is not something that's new. This is not something that should come as a surprise. But literally, she says it gives their creators the ability to reach beyond the console ecosystem. The thing that they just said tied everything together in a nice, neat little bow. So which is it? Which is it, Sarah? Which is it, Matt? Which is it, Phil? Does the Xbox tie things together, or do you need to still try to milk PC because that's the only place that you're actually gaining any money? Because the people on your Xbox don't know how to purchase games, not by any fault of their own, but because y'all have completely trained them like Pavlov's dogs to see a new game and ask the first question, is this coming to Game Pass? Because they don't want to pay for it. So which is it? Let's continue. When we look at our hardware, it really is. As Phil said earlier, it's where you get the most flagship seminal experience of Xbox, and it also represents a developer's target. Our developers can build the specs of our hardware, and we invest to make sure that they do that with the games and that they run great on the hardware, but they're also going to be able to be accessed. There we go. Lord help, English is hard. Be accessed across any screen because all of the other investments we make. Okay, so now Xbox is important. I, guys, I can't make this crap up. First, Xbox isn't important. Matt Booty said that. But then it was the hub of the ecosystem. He also said that. Now she comes in and says they want to give developers the opportunity to expand beyond the console ecosystem to attract new players beyond the console. And now she said it's the role the hardware plays, blah 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 blah. Blah. It's the most flagship and seminal experience of Xbox. Like, I really, I'm so confused. Like, guys, this makes my head hurt. I'm gonna try to get through the rest of this because my throat is now starting to hurt. Uh, as we look at our hardware, it really is. So we're giving them the easy way to access as many players as possible, and we actually have more creators right now building for Xbox than ever before. Thousands of them by nature of those investments, and we got more to come. How you gonna get more when you be firing folks left and right? That's all I'm saying. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. That's going to be the trash can. Guys, I think that leak for the Xbox trash can, I think that that was dead on accurate. I think that thing is exactly what it is. It's going to be a data point. It's going to be a little hub, and that's it. Oh, excuse me. Um, Also, we are invested in the next generation roadmap, and what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will you will have ever seen in a hardware generation. Hmm. Which makes it better for players and better for creators in the vision that they're building. Okay, so unless they sandbagged, and listen, it happened once before. Last generation, actually, I believe, when the PS4 came out and then the Xbox Series One X came out. I think that's right. Or no, I'm sorry, Xbox, just the Xbox One X. Was that the fancy one that was a little bit more powerful than the PlayStation? I think that's right. What's up, Consumptive Soul? What's up, Hero? Oh, sweet. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Uh, so now let's get back. Let's go back into what Tina is going to ask, and I think we're getting super close to the end. Yeah, we are. Okay, so Tina then asks, uh, and then we're talking about hardware too. There's other considerations that are really important to our community, probably to each one of ourselves as well. When you talk about library, because I want to dig into it, into that a little bit more. As we talk about cloud and the wider entertainment industry, there's a conversations about streaming. How is that impacting? How is that impacting how I own my content that I invested in? So, what can we say about our stance around game preservation? All right, guys, here we go. Yeah, uh, I love how they respond. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, yeah. One of the highlights for me of being in this position was getting to stand on stage when we announced back compatibility coming to Xbox One. It was fantastic. People were reading the teleprompter before I could read it. I'm a slow reader. And just feeling the energy in the auditorium as we were saying that and online. Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt before I roast him for having to call back to the reveal of Xbox One features. Okay? Before I roast him, let me see if he has a point here. One of the cues I think us as being part of Microsoft uh, take is looking at Windows and how Windows over decades has maintained software compatibility with things that are built on it. Like, I can still go back and play some of the games I love on Windows from decades ago and it will still run. And we try to bring the same view to consoles. It's harder in console because the line between what hardware is and what the game is in consoles is traditionally tighter, which you end up doing these generational compatibilities that we've built. PlayStation also did with the PS5 and PS4, but whatever, whatever. I know they missed the PS3. We won't get into that. But but I will say compatibility, the ability to not only play the games, but my saves are still there with our cloud save systems to try to keep the services up as long as we can so that people can play is a tenet of what we are as Xbox. Oh, okay, Lord help me, Jesus. Okay, so one of the things that frustrates the crap out of me is when I ask a question and the answer that somebody gives me is not the freaking question I asked. Or they start telling me this really long story and like I look at them halfway through the story and go, that's wonderful, but you're not answering my question. How do you feel about game preservation and player ownership? How do you feel about game preservation and player ownership? Well, backwards compatibility is a real big thing for us. I remember when we announced it at the Xbox One reveal, and like people were going crazy. They were so excited. Is one of the things that we have seen from Windows that's so cool. Um, Phil, that's not the question. That's not the question. None of what he just said answered the question. That is the most annoying thing that you can do to people because you just wasted their time. Especially in this. Like, I joke with my wife when she does it to me because she likes to give me every detail. I call it, not giving the baby, but giving the birth. Like, she gives every detail. And I joke with her, like, hey, honey, you still ain't answering my question. But, like, when you're in this position, this isn't the way to go about it. You were asked a question. Answer the damn question. Stop sidestepping, stop side skirting. And the difference is, my wife eventually does get around to answering the question. So, let's see if, like a good bride of Satya, let's see if Phil got around to answering the question. And this is Phil talking again. And we try to bring the same view to consoles. It's harder in console because the line between what the hardware is and what the game is in consoles is traditionally tighter. Okay, we've already read that. Oh, here we go. It's our foundation. So backwards compatibility and cloud saves are their foundation. Okay, okay. Okay, so we got backwards compatibility and cloud saves. It's one of their foundations. And we look to the future at hardware generations and what we're going to support, making sure that we respect, which is the word I use, respect the investments that people have made in Xbox going forward is fundamental. And the fact that you get entitlements when you buy a game from us on both Windows and Xbox also means that you have the ability to play the game across multiple devices, which I think furthers the compatibility of games that you own. Can you please stop not answering the damn question? Will they own the game, Phil? Will it be theirs? Always and forever to access and play and own. It is theirs. They can unplug the Xbox for a decade, plug it back in. That game is there. It's on their hard drive and they can play it. Or it's on their digital library and it is theirs. Can you answer that? Please. Because telling us about backwards compatibility and telling us you respect the investment and that entitles you, that gets you some entitlements, all that means is that you don't own the game, but because you gave them money, you're entitled to be able to play it for as long as they let you have those entitlements. Bad thing about renting is they can always take, and actually consumptive soul, I'll tell you this, that's actually not the bad thing about renting, because renting, I guarantee you, I know this because I had to pay $45 for it, but I took a game, not took, but I rented a game from Blockbuster. I kept the game for like months. uh, and after so long they stopped charging you the fee and just charged you for the game. Thankfully, the game was only like $20 that they were charging me for, but there was also $25 in late fees. So I owned that game because I rented it and I kept it. It wasn't even a good game. I just forgot to take it back. It was really funny. But Blocky Busta, what's that? It was the red box, but bigger. Without the red box logo. And people worked inside there. And instead of a machine handing you your game or your movie, it was a person. And you could buy the best popcorn in the world from a Blockbuster. And they had all like the theater style candy. And it was fantastic. Oh, memory lane. Anyways, backwards compatibility, which is not the question she asked. This is so. If this wasn't a staged and set up interview, as the interviewer, I would be pissed off to high heaven at this point right here. Because the whole time I'm asking you questions and I'm trying to get answers, and now you've done pushed me too far. I don't care. This is not what I asked. Let's keep going. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe it's just a really long birthing process to get to the answer. Can we go back to what Xbox stands for? I think we've pretty much covered all of the other elements, but if you could break it down for me. When you play on Xbox, what we're saying is you're playing on a platform where you know the biggest games in the world are going to be. You're playing on a platform where you get access to Game Pass, and all of the games from our incredible range of studios will always launch day one in Game Pass. And you're playing on a platform that's dedicated to you. Player first features, cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression, backwards compatibility. Being able to play your games in your library anywhere you want because of the investments that we're making in cloud gaming. And so what I'm hearing is I'm not going to answer your question. That's what I'm hearing. You have no shot in hell for me to actually answer your question. No shot. It's insane because he says, "Okay, so can we go back to this?" Like he's literally changing topic here. And so you're playing somewhere, you're investing, and you know you get to take the games forward with you across all the screens where you are. And I think most importantly, Xbox is a place where you know when you're investing in Xbox, you're investing somewhere that is dedicated to making games more successful and creators more successful so that they can invest more to bring even better experiences to you all of the time. Okay, somewhere we switched. I think this is Sarah talking now, and I think that for two reasons. One, I can read it, and two, she's repeating some of the same talking points she had from earlier. So I think this is actually Sarah talking now. When Phil talks, he talks in very broken conversational English. When Sarah and Matt talk, they talk in very kind of professional interview style language. And so, anyways, sorry, I pick up on really stupid things when I'm reading stuff. Yeah, that investment in the studios is so. And now this is Phil. God dang, this is Phil. This is Phil. Holy shit. Yeah, that investment in the studios is so. And we feel that as part of the first party with the platform proximity, it's amazing how now to look out across all the studios that we've got and just be reminded that we're now one of the biggest development organizations in the industry. What does that mean for players? It means that the biggest games are going to continue to come to Xbox. And this 2024, this coming year, or this year coming up, we've got more than 10 major games, or 10 major releases coming up. Great stuff. Remember, 4 of those are going to be games coming to PlayStation. I'm just saying. Hellblade 2, they've got Diablo expansion. They've got Avowed. Wait the hell up. I thought you couldn't. I thought you couldn't count Diablo or expansions as releases. Wait a minute. When some of the PlayStation guys tried to do that with Horizon Forbidden West, Call of the or holy hell, Beyond the Dawn. Nope. Beyond the Mountain, Call of the Mountain. No, that's the VR game. Which Burning Shores. Haha, got it before Josh had to get it to me. Uh, but when they were trying to count Burning Shores as a major release, we got told no, you can't do that. But now they can. Okay, they've got Avowed, Aura, the Indiana Jones game, and there's more in development, which I think we're going to be able to share more about at our June showcase coming up pretty soon. Well, I guess I should get ready to work on that show. Sorry, it said laughter. I wanted to give y'all that, ambiance like we're there. Well, thank you all for the show on the podcast today, and we'll see the rest of you this June. Yeah, thanks, Tina. Thank you. Okay, so what, what in the actual hell, I feel dumber for reading that, and I feel like we don't know any more now than what we did before. I feel like they've completely swindled everybody. I feel like none of the questions actually got answered. I feel like the interview was completely staged and set up, and I feel like if this would have been a real interview by somebody from maybe the other side of the platform fence, that we would have gotten more answers. And so it's very interesting. And then we have uh, I think we had something come out yesterday where on an investors call they said that everything was going great and numbers were up and all this other stuff, but yet they still need to bring games to PlayStation and Nintendo to help give them access to the things that they don't have, which is players who spend money. And well, players in general, but more than that, players who spend money. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Like I I'm having to kind of temper my voice down a bit because I don't want my throat to keep hurting. But like, damn it, I, if I wasn't, I'd be yelling right now. But this interview, it didn't do anything. This podcast, it didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, like I said in my last show, you have folks like Tim Dog and even Crap Gamer going, guys, listen, this ain't a win. I don't think we all watch the same show. This isn't a win. Y'all aren't doing good. We're not okay. This freaking sucks. Like, I find it extremely, extremely interesting that people in the community, on both sides of the Xbox community fence line right now, that you have some that are like being fine with it and letting people know, hey, this is exactly what's going on. This is how I feel. This is where I feel like it's going, and this is bad. And then you have other people who are like, no, 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 it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. Look, haha, y'all said Starfield was coming. Haha, now it's not. Like, come on. You have to realize when you start talking about games that are coming to places, unless you have like a hard line. Like, if they would have come out and did what PlayStation did with PC, and I know people are going to say, oh, this is the way he's going to cope. Yeah, shut up. If the way PlayStation did it on PC, where it's just going to be live service titles, and then maybe a year later we'll release the other ones, uh, and it's going to be selective at best, but they're jumping out of the gate with two non-live service games and two live service games. They're going to start throwing anything they can, everywhere they can. And they're going to do it all in the name of, we want games everywhere. We want games everywhere. We want games everywhere. Crap. Everywhere is an Xbox. Everywhere is Game Pass. Everywhere is blah, blah, whatever. Come on. They don't even, this, dude, with as many times, Josh, with as many times as they've repeated the same daggum thing over and over and over and over again, I know they pay for Twitter Blue. They have unlimited characters. They literally could have done a 500 word tweet and called it good. Guys, we have 4 titles coming, 2 live service, 2 non live service. Not going to tell you what they are. We have a lot of stuff planned this year. We have had a lot of growth on PC, and yeah, we're going to be seeing y'all in June with the rest of our lineup and what's coming out this year. Ta-da! And then, at least with that, cool. You didn't answer any of our questions, but you also didn't raise any more questions, really. You just kept the same questions on the table. Right now, I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. I want to know what your freaking actual Game Pass numbers are total. I want to know what your actually monthly user base is, not including monthly users on other consoles. It's because I want to take out Minecraft, and if they're including Diablo and Call of Duty now, I want to take those two out as well. Like, I want to know that. I want to know kind of what games are coming, but even if you don't tell me that, I guess that's fine. But like, I think you owe a little bit more clarity and a little bit more transparency to your community. Because people crap on PlayStation for not telling us anything. But when they do tell us stuff, I know that I can take that shit to the bank and cash it. Like, if if they came out and told me, guys, God of War 5 is in development already. We have 2 other smaller games in between there. It's going to be God of War 3, The Adventures of Atreus, and then God of War 4, uh, leading up to Kratos in Egypt. Hey, Byron, are you all right, dude? Like, cause you're about to get put in timeout. Um, because I don't like you spamming chat. Yeah. Josh, can we get him kind of in timeout? I hate to do that, but I just don't want chat to be spammed. Maybe just like a 5-10 minute timeout, I guess. Maybe 15. Like, Byron, I love you in here, dude. You've been in almost every chat I've ever had, but you gotta stop spamming the chat, dude. You gotta. Um, but yeah, so if they told me, somebody said Ghost of Tsushima 2. Yeah, if they told me Ghost of Tsushima 2 was coming out April of 2025, I'd be like, cool, game's coming out April of 2025. Like, or if they said, hey, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it, we don't know when it's coming. Cool, great. At least I know they're working on it. Don't know when it's coming. That's fine. They don't ever make me go, okay, here's what they said. Now I got to filter it through 15 other filters and use a gosh dang Rubik's Cube to solve this equation to figure out exactly what the hell they're trying to tell me. Like, it's very plain. Jim Ryan comes out, guys, we want our games to make more money. We need them to make more money. We're going to be releasing live service games, even our first party live service games, day and date on PC to attract more of that market. And other games of our first party titles will be also coming to PC, usually a year after release. Cool. Thanks, man. Got it. And then we can talk about whether we like it or not. Like, then we can actually give our opinion on if this is a good idea or not, which is what all of us did at the time. With Xbox, we can't even get to the part about giving our opinion on a decision they make because they don't tell their community any of their freaking decisions. You don't know until after the fact. Redfall released in the shittiest state that I have seen outside of Cyberpunk for a game that's considered AAA, that's considered a wonderful multiplayer experience. Like, it released terribly. And then if y'all remember, all of this stuff came out in the first week. They had a PlayStation 5 build. They were told to shut it down. They were told that, hey, this game needs to be multiplayer, even after they said, hey, we don't want to make a multiplayer game. Like, they could have come out as a studio, and Xbox could have come out and said, hey, guys, Arcane, we've challenged them to do this. They're going to be doing it. They're super excited, but also they want you to have patience with them. They're going to put some time into this game afterwards. Like, they could have done something to soften that blow. But instead, they shielded all of that information. They tried to show footage as it was on the Xbox or as it was on the Series S, but it was actually on the PC. Like, it's so bad the way they did that. And then the way they did the Starfield marketing. The way they did the Starfield marketing was also completely psychotic. And so, like, you have all these moments where we don't even get to comment on whether it's a good idea for them or not. Which, listen, somebody pointed out last time, if the games sell even a little bit, it's a win. Like, remember when we looked at numbers for what certain PlayStation games have done on PC, and PlayStation's like, yeah, that's considered a success. Like, it's low numbers, 200, 300,000 sold. That's really good. That must mean the cost to make these ports isn't that bad. If you can sell 300,000 copies, and it's a good thing. So, like, maybe the bar is so low to be profitable that it will help them. But if that was the case, why not just come out and be honest? Hey guys, listen, our Xbox brand is struggling right now. We are trying to bring more people to our Xbox brand. We are trying to do that by showing folks the games that we can offer on Xbox from existing IPs, in hopes that they'll, which Phil said this earlier in the interview. You can go watch my show from Thursday to hear this part. But we want them to play maybe a Halo Infinite and go, man, I want to play the rest of the Halos. But all of those are on the Xbox. Maybe I'll go buy a Series S, get Game Pass, and then play it. Like, okay, cool. That's your goal? Fantastic, Phil. Thank you. Because then my show would have been about discussing how we feel about what Phil said. Like, instead, I have nothing to go on. I have a bunch of doublespeak. I have a bunch of stuff that's sitting here looking at me, doing one thing, saying another. They're either making a ton of money or they're in the shitter and they're having the most worst time of their life and it's just bad. And, like, it's just irritating. Oh, okay. I got through that. And too much filling. Yes. Too much filling. I'm telling y'all, there were about 4 paragraphs in that thing that you could have taken out, and you would have never known that you missed anything. There were so, and I also did find it funny that I could absolutely tell when the person who was talking shifted, except when it went from Sarah to Matt. When it went from Phil to either one of those, you could immediately tell in the way his talking was. So much PR. 3 weeks of planning, and this is what we got. As I've been hanging out with y'all, I can't believe they let Tina say that. Tina opened her mouth. As I've been hanging out with y'all for the past 3 weeks talking about this very thing. Like, oh, I think Hi-Fi is going to do good on Red. Red absolutely doesn't care. I mean, yeah, no. I was going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Red Team doesn't give a crap about this. Their players are going to play it because it is a Nintendo Switch game. Blue will pass. Yeah, I think, man, the release windows this year are going to be so tight. I think we're going to have more games coming at a faster rate than we did last year on the PlayStation. And so, like, it's going to be hard pressed to find a good spot to put it. Pause. But, like, I think that it is something that can be done. It would be very interesting to me because it does feel like a Game Pass game. And sorry I'm saying so much tonight, guys. It's actually one of my other pet peeves, and so I apologize. They did it again. I see the potential for Hi-Fi Rush being a PS Plus game. But it's never going to happen, right? Like, if you clip me right there where, oh, Thrifty said he wants Hi-Fi Rush on PS Plus, then you missed the point of what I was saying. I don't think it's going to happen, but it feels like that caliber of game. It feels like one of those type of titles where, it's in Plus Extra. It's in Plus Premium. But that's not going to happen. Ever. I don't think PlayStation would ever allow that to happen. And so I'm curious on their I am too, to be quite honest. Sea of Thieves RPG is... I'll be honest. Sea of Thieves on the PS5 is dead on arrival when it comes. It's DOA. It's not going to do nothing. I don't foresee that game doing anything. I said it in the last show. If they want to see growth and if they want to see something happen, then they need to go ahead and put Indiana Jones, Helldivers 2, and Starfield. Or not Helldivers 2, Hellblade 2. And Starfield. Those are the only things that are going to be able to move the needles. That's it. Those are the only games that they have that are going to move the needles. Maybe Halo. But it can't be Halo Infinite. You'd have to put Master Chief Collection on there. And I'm just being honest, guys. Like, I'm a PlayStation gamer. And if they drop their entire catalog tomorrow, I would probably play some of the Gears games, some of the older Halos, and that's it. Oh, and I would play Final Fantasy 13. Bethesda fan base is bigger on PlayStation. I know that's so Consumptive Soul. I actually mentioned that last show that like the only thing that they would actually be good at doing, or that would be profitable for them, guaranteed, is to bring the Bethesda games over and make sure those released day one on PlayStation. I know so many people who are huge Bethesda fans and were super pissed when Xbox bought them because they knew that it would be trash afterwards. Guys, folks, I'll give this to Bethesda fans. Bethesda fans are actually involved in the gaming like community. A lot of them are. And it's because those games breed a culture. Whether you think they're stupid or think they're bad like I do, or hate the graphic design like I do, or hate the fluffed up storytelling like I do, like those games have a huge following and they build community which filters people in to learning more about the gaming industry. And so a lot of those folks know what Xbox does with people they purchase. They turn them to shit, which is what happened. Hey guys, we've had like 25 people in here at one point. Uh, if y'all have not yet, please hit that like button. Hit the like button. And yeah, I'm going to pin that real quick because I forgot at the end of the show. That's a good time to do it. Um, but no, I think that over the next couple weeks, we have Helldivers 2 is going to keep getting a big, huge bump. I'm actually wondering if Helldivers 2 is going to affect the sales of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I'm not even kidding. That game is going nuts. I don't think it will, but it would be kind of funny if it did. It, I know, Josh. I know. I don't think it will, but it's just one of those things that, like, holy crap, they freaking released Helldivers 2, wasn't expecting it to be what it was, so they thought, yeah, we can put this multiplayer here, and at the end of the month, that'll give plenty of people time to play it, do all that, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the end of the month, and then we'll give people a month break, and then we'll give them Blade in April. Like, that's it would strike me as funny if Helldivers 2 was such a massive success for a $40 game that it outshadows or that it pulls some people away from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Just the thought, like I said, don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I think I'm going to go take some honey and get this, whatever it is in my throat, out. Consumptive Soul, thank you for subscribing tonight. Truly appreciate it. Guys, we are gaining subs faster and at a higher clip than we normally do. And so I attribute a lot of that to y'all and the fact that y'all engage with this, the fact that y'all come on every time I'm live. I guarantee you I have the same 10 to 12 people guaranteed every time. And when I first started this, I had Toolman and RPG88. And then I had Nelson and Hero, Josh. These guys were they were my 5. I could guarantee every week those guys would be there. And so, really appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all so much for getting this channel to grow. We are just a little bit away, but guys, y'all have a lovely night. Thank y'all for stopping in on a Saturday, and I am going to go to bed now. As always, guys, stay thrifty.